All right, we are back for yet another really boring ass video of me writing code. And this time I'm going to be tackling the menu click navigation in in the menus that you see, like the one that you see right there. Right now, I'm trying to get me on Facebook. So I'm going to be tackling that. And as you can see here, what I want to do is, when I move the little cursor over um, any of the items, I want to be able to click on that and go to that thing. So now I actually think that that's going to be um, pretty easy to do. I think actually just adding the button definitions in themselves are going to, take care of that. I have no doubt about that. So I think that's not going to take a lot of time. So I also wanted to throw a bonus in there, and I want to make sure that, or I want to add the ability, at least for now, to change the color when the cursor moves over, kind of like a hover, event. Um, so I want to kind of get those kind of things. And I did do some prep work um, of for this. I had the graphics for the different colored font. I added some additional files, got all that into the build. Took care of a couple of other little details, and even tested some of the code that I'm going to be using, because I haven't actually used it in this project. Wasn't sure if it was still going to work. Don't want to get sidetracked on any of that. Um, Let me get this up on Facebook here really quick. But before I do get into that, I want to show off the kind of the final product of getting the weapon navigation in. I went through and added some default text and had it have it redraw um, writing. I'm adding this to Facebook. I'm saying another boring video of me writing code for Space Pirate Kumiko, and you can't see this, but you might notice that the uh, 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 window is a little bit smaller, um, and I did that so that I could actually kind of see the any comments that do come through, because I have missed a few, and I had my TV set up for the couple of the other videos that I did, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. My other monitor is packed up, and the TV is a little bigger, so I can't make enough room for it, so I have to kind of set it up a little bit, and that makes it kind of a pain in the ass. So anyway, I wanted to show off the weapon selection. So let's go in here and we're just gonna actually, you know what? We're gonna do this. Get all fancy about it. Okay. So now we go in here and we visit the armory, and we've got our weapons. And if you watched the last video, you saw where I had the text drawing up there, along with the being able to select which weapon, but I didn't have it changing the text for it. And that was one of the things that I wanted to get in, and that actually required some additional rendering code, which is something that I have not had to do for this project yet. That which has been great. So I actually had to write some custom code. That was the kind of thing that I didn't really want to be talking on, on the internet while doing. I really wanted to pay attention to it, so I got it in. So now what happens is when I move my cursor over and I click it, it just goes ahead and it fills all of the, the info box with the text for that. And of course, I've got different numbered text for each one, so I can go in and select it. So that'll give a description of each of the upgrades, the costs and all that. And then I'll add back, adding in how much you have. I'm going to kind of redesign that a little bit. I want to get some left justifications and formatting and stuff in there. So this turned out pretty well, and really it was pretty easy to get that in there once I got the rendering code up and finished and working and all that. Doing this was pretty straightforward. So anyway, let's get back over to here. And let's quit. Let's go back to the main menu, because that's where we're going to be spending most of our time. So, like I said, I want to be able to move the cursor over this puppy, and be able to click on it and have it launch that particular site. So that's what we're going to tackle first. I think it's, like I said, I think that's going to be really easy to do. So in fact, I think the only hard part about this is I'm probably going to pull out the calculator to calculate, because I'm going to have to specify the size of the buttons. And I mean, I know the height, that's pretty easy, but the width is pretty um, going to be specific to most of them. Okay, where am I at? I am, let's see, we're going to go into title. We're going to be doing that. Um, so we've got our keyboards. I'm actually thinking about, taking this keyboard stuff and merging it in with the button. It's becoming a lot more um, uh, featureful, functional kind of thing. Um, or it's about to, because that's how I'm planning on doing this, is using the kind of the button stuff. But being able to like kind of assign a hotkey to that and search the button list. I've already got it, the button there. I've already got code that's kind of using it, so I can kind of make it a little bit generic. Even shrink the code size down a little bit. So I'm thinking about getting rid of that. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to add our buttons, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So let's go ahead and take a look at something that has a button in it, and we'll just copy that for a template. In fact, I know the UI scene state does, and ching. That way we can go ahead and add one in and just see what see if it even works. So okay, we're going to go to the new game. That's going to be the first one that we do, and we know that we want that to be empty. So let's see which one did we do for the armory. Uh, Image is empty. Duh. Okay, that makes that simple. So let's go down here and we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to be making some equate statements here to give us some constants at some point, because I have a feeling I'm going to be duplicating this a little bit, but we're going to see how well that is, because we're also going to end up having to do a custom button creator for us. So we'll take care of that. Let's see. Let's see. We'll copy that there. Let's make sure that we are right there, and we want that button profile. That is right after keyboard. Pretty sure that's where the hell that is, because there's only one other thing left. Oh well, it'll blow up if it isn't. So let's look at this. Okay, this is the width. Let's see, button ID 0 and width or the X and the Y. I need to make this easier, maybe in steps. So that is that, and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that's easy. That is 128. Didn't even have to use a calculator for that. I'm proud of myself. All right, so we've got our button in there. We've got one. We've got that. X is 64. Y is 86 plus screen top. And then there's the width and the height. Don't have any images in it. And we want it to go to new game. Okay, so let's go over and shut this down. And now when we click new game, that should actually start that up for us. See, like I said, this part's probably going to be easy. It's the next part that's really gonna piss me off. But anyway, so what I'm planning on doing with that is expanding the button object that we have created in the last few videos, and adding support for text. Okay, so we got our thing over here, and that didn't work. Ooh, what did I do wrong? What did I forget? What did I forget? All right, let's take a look at Armory, because that's got, oh, button profile list. Ooh, I put it in the wrong spot. Wow, I suck. Should have checked it. Yeah, menu text list and then the button profile list. Ooh, I'm such an idiot. Still gonna give myself a cookie for it though, because I figured it out real quick. And I got my music on. Of course, I got my my Pure Leaf iced tea. Got my Oreos milk stuff, because that's just good, man. Of course, that icing, you can't, I can't eat all 4 of them in a single sitting anymore. I don't think I ever could, except when I built my own. Okay, we are built up here, and we're gonna take a look at this. If it doesn't work, it means I really screwed up. Okay, that's easy enough. I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. Screen top. That sucker right there is used for an offset, but when handling the buttons, I don't actually have to do that. I should figure that out from here. So yeah, that gets me every once in a while, that screen top, because of the way that I'm handling the clipping, and I'm not using like some giant virtual space with everything. It's just one single screen. I just scroll the background, which I'm actually thinking about doing here. Okay, let's see. Yep, there we go. Exit. New saga. Let's click elsewhere. Yep, no clicks there. So easy. Yep. So now it's just a matter of doing the rest of them, which actually shouldn't be that difficult. So let's do this. X X Y Y with width, because that's going to change for each one. And we can do this. High scores, options, go to credits, and then the chumps. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, that's all right. 5 options, not 6. Okay, 5. All right, so now we just got to go through and calculate the list. So let's do this. View, editor layout, split down. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay, that's load. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot load. We're just going to do this right now. That should be obvious when I go to actually add save and load. When I go to click load and it doesn't do anything, I think I'm going to figure that one out pretty quick. So let's go over here, high scores. And we just replace that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. 11. That's what's 166 there. Oh, where did my monitor go? It's like 176, 166. Oh, I gotta. Oh, oops. There we go. Lost my cursor for a minute. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. All right, and we were, let's see, that's options. And that is, wow, it's like 112. And credits is actually the same size. So, yeah, 112. And then the chumps is 196. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. 160, yeah, because it's 16 pixels. So, all right. I guess we'll test it now, huh? Get rid of that puppy. And maybe I should close this down. And I've lost my other windows. There we go. So yes, this seems to be coming along nicely. I mean, like I said, that was going to be easy. This is actually kind of boring, really. Like I said, boring ass video. So, all right, let's dig this up here. So the trick is going to be getting it to change color. That should be fun. All right, so we want to go to the chumps first. Oops, yeah, went there. Credits, credit scene, options, options page. So far, so good. High scores, high scores. Let's try the edge of that one. Yep, high scores. Oh, that was just, like I said, that's just too simple. Yep. Nothing corners done good. Oh, nothing for load saga. And we're good for there. All right, we've got some menu navigation going on. That was simple. Now I'll add that um, to the new game or the game in progress page like at a later time. That's kind of like boring shit. So let me commit that because wow, I deserve a cookie. Always nice when you can have everything data driven like this. It really is nice. All right, added buttons for titles. Now, what I'll eventually do, and I may end up having to do that now. Oh, actually, no, I can, let's actually, you know what? Let's do this. One, two, three, four, give each one of them a unique ID. Actually, you know what? That should be two. Just in case I want to use that for something later on, because who knows, I might. Do not want to get caught with my pants down on that one. All right, so we got no go to new game. So this is well, I know that I want to use a button, and the reason why I want to use the button is actually kind of very specific because there are two kind of contexts within chaos. First is the kind of the update stage where everything is data driven. I mean, everything is about the data, the game data, the actor states, what's going on. Then you have the render state, and the reason why the render state is separate is because there's a ton of stuff that gets mapped in, especially for this one because with the scrolling screen it's larger than what you can map into memory and have everything else in there as well. So you have to do a windowed mode. You've got compiled sprites that have to be mapped in. You've got sprite tables that have to be mapped in. There's the restore list that that has to exist somewhere. So and then trying to do that with sound and everything else, there's like you've got to be really conscientious about that. So there's two kind of modes that have to happen here. So I'm actually going to be doing again some more rendering stuff, and that's why I want to do it within the button because otherwise I have to do some context switching, which is just way more code than it's probably going to be worth, and it's actually a pretty crappy way to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the current button that we've got, and we're going to add text support to it, and then we're going to add some kind of way to activate that because if you look at this, I mean, I can probably render this at a reasonable frame rate, like all of these characters, but you never know how much text you're going to have on it. There's a couple of other scenes that I want to add in that may have quite a few characters, so that might bog it down with all the other stuff that's going on. So I want to be a little bit mindful of performance, even the UI. I mean, you don't want to have a crappy UI experience. So and if you saw the results of the click, let's do this. Da, da, da and visit this. I mean, this comes up pretty quick, and the thing here is that it's drawing each one of those characters individually as far as calculating its position, and then it does the copy and the erase and all kinds of stuff in here. So it actually is pretty performing. You don't really notice anything. And I'd like to kind of keep that with the menu items as well. So let's take a look at our button. Where did I? That's going to be in the. I think I put that in layers. Or no, actually I have layer objects now because I have like all kinds of stuff that I want to put in there. Okay, so and you can see where I've already set this up so that because the code for the render has to exist in a specific place, it has to be mapped in. So, and the easiest way to do that is to include that as part of this instance of chaos. So there's some bundles that get made, and that becomes part of it. Let's see here. So I've already got this set up so that, and I'm gonna be using the custom draw. Again, this is where um, Chaos actually has a couple of different ways of drawing things, or at least the layers that are in Chaos. And of course, since I'll be doing drawing, I've already set this up to do that. So now and those two ways that it renders is really dependent on the layer that's being used because the way that chaos is structured is you have a scene which has zero or more layers in it, and then each layer has does its own thing. In this case, we're using an object layer, so you have it maintains a list of objects. So the first way to draw it is indirect mode, and that what that does is it calls a function attached to that instance of whatever object is in that layer to handle its draw. So each individual object can handle its own drawing. The other way is direct mode, which in which case the layer just looks at the instance of the that object, grabs the image, and then it goes ahead and it handles the drawing. You know, it takes gets rid of that indirect call and then the return and all of that stuff. It's a bit more efficient. Now, of course, I can do the same thing, with the layer in the scene later on when I get ready to optimize. But when you've got a lot of things on the screen, that actually helps. So we're gonna extend this button here to support text, and uh, we're gonna set the layer up to do uh, indirect draws because by default I think it does direct or indirect or does direct draws as far as this is set up. So we're going to set that up so that the draw actually happens and the layer is initialized properly. So we know that, in fact, let's go ahead and initialize, make sure that layer is initialized. I think that, let's see, let's look at the scene driver. That's going to be the My UI layer is the layer we're going to be adding those buttons to. So scene state, this is where we construct it. And yeah, so we want to look at UI button constructor because that's what's going to end up calling this. Okay, yeah, see, this is immediate, so we want to change this to indirect, and that way that way it's going to let the button handle its own drawing. So we're going to switch over here. Let's see, get rid of UI state. We can get rid of Armory now. And where is this? Oh, that's the button layer. We don't want that. We've already updated the button layer, so we want the button object itself. Okay. And actually, let's set this up to make sure that it can render itself. Okay, that's set. I'm going to add a comment. Okay, and we're going to do this. Oops. And this is going to be button image object draw. Object on draw pointer, Y. And there we go. All right, so we're doing that. Let's make sure that is in fact, yep, draw, goes to image draw, make sure, all right. So we're good to go on that. So now, in fact, let me commit these changes. These are just getting the everything set up. Let me get rid of that. We'll get that new version up there and running just so we know that it's working here. And we'll know that because well, we won't. We know that we're seeing buttons drawn. That's it. Doesn't necessarily mean this should be working though. So, but it should be. There shouldn't be any problem with that. We're already setting the draw, and of course, it's going to the default. Now I could go ahead and change that to an RTS in here, but we'll figure it out. We'll know it when we start trying to draw text. So all right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into. Actually, first I do want to commit this, just to because these are little minor changes. If I screw something up, I don't want to accidentally blow one of these away. Could have to redo it, and that's so started button extension. Update that on the next commit. All right, so we need get rid of the button layer, and we need the button object itself. Okay, so we're going to add some text in here, but and I was thinking about this earlier because I came in here, I looked at this because I knew this was pretty large, and adding the extra parameters to support text is just a nightmare. it's just going to make that line really, really long, much longer than it really needs to be. So, although I could probably shrink it down with a custom one, but that's just way too much work. So I'm going to actually do some side extensions or some side initialization of that right now, kind of a two-stage type of thing. But first, we need to figure out how to get this text in here in the first place. So the way that the text is actually rendered is they're treated like kind of a special classification of sprites, and they have in order to render them, you have to have a texture kind of definition, that kind of defines it, because there's a few things that are actually needed. First is the MMU block that contains the glyph table. And that way you can translate a character into a glyph, and it's just a texture. And then during the rendering stage, you have to be able to map that in. So you need the MMU block of the glyph render, basically a sprite draw, either the function. In this case, they're compiled, so I've got several MMU blocks full of those. So I have to be able to map that in, and then I need the positions and all of that. So there's going to be some stuff that we need. Some of it we can pull out of the text. Some of it we'll handle in this, but we need to be able to get access to that. Um, and like I said, there's some difference in the data versus rendering context. And since we'll be rendering text, we need to make sure that when we start creating that text to draw, that we place it in that memory that this will be able to access to. Otherwise, it'll go boom. So first, we're going to need well, we don't really need the glyph table. We can actually handle that. Actually, you know what? We can use the glyph table. So we need, let's see, oh, we definitely will need the address of the text. Definitely want that. And the font glyph table. Actually, you know what? We can change that to the just shorten that up a bit. And that's just one. That's the glyph table MMU block. So we know where it's coming from. And to make this kind of easy, yeah, we'll just use this for now. Since I don't want to get this whole button definition macro all, we're just going to go ahead and zero these out. That way it doesn't affect any of the buttons. And I think we're going to do a little kind of a interstitial kind of test stage just to make sure that we've got something that will work. Oh, excuse me. And maybe draw some text from the buttons and have it blink or something, and maybe do that. So anyway, for right now we're going to set this up as zeros, and the reason for this is that the button is going to check these values, and if they're zero, actually, you know what? I'm going to change this to null. Then it will go ahead and skip drawing the text. Otherwise, if there's actually like a let's see, that text pointer, and that's FCB. We'll just do that as zero. So, and there we go. So if this if the text pointer is null, then it's just going to skip drawing the text. Otherwise, it's going to go ahead and draw it, and it's going to use that glyph table stuff to do it. We do that because we have the fonts are in two different MMU blocks. That's how big they are, and it's just the letters, and I think two um, uh, two or maybe three punctuation symbols, and that's it. Quite a bit. And so let's see here. All right, so now I need to go over here. Let's go back to the button image object. Make sure all of that is set. Oh, actually, you know what? We don't do that here because that's the profile. We want to do that here in the let's see, sets the callback function. All right. we want to do it right here in the constructor so that each one starts up as a default. We don't want to pull it from the profile because that's what we were doing before. Like I said, we're gonna do this, adding the text to it separately. It makes it easier. Because of the way that I will eventually be setting some of this stuff up, because the everything will be built from the same table, so it's going to have some goofy kind of shit in it. So anyway, we want to set text info to null to indicate nothing. And restore that. Okay. And that's going to be in text pointer. And store A in, oops. That's, we'll set that. All right, so we are set to defaults. And that's going to be, oh, and we don't want that in the profile. We actually want that in the image object itself. No, we can change the bounds to the end, that's fine. Yeah, am I doing story there? Yep, don't want to be trampling on anything. All right, we're good to go there. And let's go to check out, where is it, the renderer? At some point, we're going to have to start doing this. Let's do this. No, we want that to be there. So yeah, if there is actually an image associated with this button image object, then yeah, we'll draw that underneath. I mean, it's all right. Otherwise, I mean, that's fine because the buttons are currently using empty, or at least for the menu click, those are using an empty image, so nothing is actually drawn. So I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and save our. We're gonna do that here, and oops. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and see if we've blown anything up by now. I don't think I have. Pretty sure I haven't. All right, it is built, and we're going to test this puppy now. Not really gonna see anything, but as long as it doesn't like crash, then I think we're pretty good shape. All right. Actually, let me do this. All right. Okay, we've got that done. I think that's good enough. Now, let's add a little test here. Let me take a look at that text rendering function, because that, see what's where's chaos? There we go. Presentation. Frame buffers. Let's see. Blit text. We want something that gets erased. All right, the glyph block. We know that. X, the Y, and U of a string. All right, well, let's do this here. Let's let's call this long ass function here. In fact, I'm going to do something really fun here. Actually, let's do this. Say that. Let's do test text. That ought to be fun. And we're going to use the blue font. And we're going to do memory map. So this right here is the stuff that works, and okay, pretty obvious that we'll need to delete that at some point. So because we'll be changing that to something else. Plus, we'll probably delete it before I commit it. All right, so we got this here. So okay, so the glyph block is going to be. Let's see here. Is that long ass right there? Yeah. That, and I want to do the X position. Okay, easy enough. And we're doing fixed point. And load Y. Here's where we get to dangerous. Y position, comma Y, FP. All right. So what we got here? We got our, of course, our obligatory saving that registers for right now, so we don't accidentally blow up while we're doing shit. Getting the text pointer, if it's 0, then we bail out. Nothing real special there. Of course, we're setting that to a test, and we get the block into A, the X position, the Y position, and then we split 16 by 16 fonts. Oh, I should probably define the test text. Now, I'm going to do that in here because I know that we're in rendering territory. Test text A. Actually, let's do in. New game. Sure, why not? See how close we are. See if it even works. Because, I mean, I did test this earlier, like this morning, and it seemed to work fine, but I haven't actually tried it from here. But I guess we'll see. Let that load naturally so we can. Wow, fucking worked. Oh, all right. Let's see. Not quite right on that new game. It looks like there's maybe that's just the background, but we'll see when we get to the overlays or doing the when it's all got the correct text to it. So awesome test. We've got yeah. See how the cursor is really following slow now. And that's just with all that little bit of, that's not even with all the characters. So yeah, that's going to be out. So just doing the letters is going to be, I think that's going to be enough. So all right, let's do this. I'm just going to comment this out for future ref. No, actually, you know what? I don't need, because that's the way that it's supposed to be working. Let's do this. Not too hot on this being fixed, because this looks like, I mean, if I added another member, like the render function, I could just load this generically and it could be used for anything. So maybe make Yeah, actually, I could probably just I may just go in here to this function and strip it down to just blit text, VP 256. And actually, this isn't even accurate for this one. It shouldn't even matter. This should not care. Hmm. Well, I got some renaming to do later on. So anyway, we've got this up. So this should all be working. But let's go in here and delete this crap. Although let's see what. Yeah, I want to delete that. Okay. So we got that. Let me go ahead and give a quick look at the changes that I've got here. All right, so we've got the initialization of that, those in there, and then of course the render has all that code in there. So let's give that code a test before I do the commit, just to make sure that it works without a text string. So that should come in handy. Um, and we'll see how far I can take this. I may just add another flag in there and have two different fonts set. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. Let me get rid of this and let's go ahead and give this a quick look. As long as it doesn't give me a screen full of ass, I think we're good. Yep, and I think we're good. Yeah. I see a bit more responsive now. That's good. Not sure about the trailing on it. I mean, it's a nice little effect. But as I'm moving my mouse, you can't see that. I guess you can't actually. I don't think you can see my mouse, um, which is unfortunate, I guess. Didn't even think about that earlier. I guess I should have. Um, but so anyway, that's all working. So I'm going to go ahead and commit that, and we're going to go ahead and update that button, all the buttons with the correct text, just to see if it will draw the corrections. Even if it's slow, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We're gonna make that better. So let me add this to the last piece. Don't want that getting in there. So we've got that. So let's go back over here to title. Now, how am I going to do this? See, the problem here is that there are multiple instances of this text. So I don't really need all of this, but these positions here. So I think later on what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of consolidate some of this stuff into a single table. I'm not going to do that here because that's just really boring as shit. It's not really not a whole lot of coding. So that the this two-phase stuff that I'm working on, we can go ahead and take care of some of that. But for right now, I think I'm going to end up um, duplicating some of this text, which is fine. That's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. We're gonna actually take this off and let's go over here to the render. We're gonna make sure that this is in here. All right. So we'll move it out. I'll move it out sometime later. I just don't want to dick around with this shit at the moment. All right. So we got a new game text, and actually let's do this. There we go. I guess I should have put the text in there like this. Oh, do it right. And we're actually going to, whoops, I don't want to do that. Comment that one out because we're not using it yet, and I'm just going to be building this table here. So high scores, options, credits, and the chumps. Clean some of that up here. Okay. I guess I'll just make this a little more explicit so people know what's going on. Get that a little farther away. Okay, so we got new saga, we got all of that stuff. Let's see, do we want to Actually, let me take a look at UI. Let's see how hard it was for the Etsy add buttons is what I want. No, that's the UI layer. Why do I keep looking at that shit? Um, let's see. Did I go? Oh, add buttons. Hey, what's going on? I can actually see comments these now, so I actually saw that one come through. What's going on? Let's see, add buttons. I guess I guess I could just copy this, but okay. So add button, but that's a problem. Okay, so we got add button. I actually need the address of the button so that I can attach the text to it. So that transfers Y to X. Does that, and add object pointer should retain or should is supposed to save X. So I guess if I get rid of this and I could duplicate that and do it on my own, that is going to be by far probably the easiest way. Actually, I think I'm going to keep this as a part of UI scene state, but oh boy. That should only be used here. Okay, so button profile list goes in X. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's try this. All right. Where is actually I'm gonna need my own init scene. That's what I need to do. I need to handle that on initialization. All right, so and do I wanna? Yeah, I wanna jump to UI state scene. Init scene right there. All right, so we have our custom init scene. So we're gonna add the buttons ourselves. So let's do this. Wow, this is a conundrum because one, I want to actually do all of the stuff like as proper as I possibly can. I don't want to have to do stuff later. But on the other hand, there's actually some value to doing things a little not quite there at this stage, but we'll see which one I end up choosing. All right, so we're going to go to our init scene, and well, first we'll take a look at the UI scene state. So, all right, so I want to do UI scene state, add buttons, and get rid of this because we don't want to do it twice. All right, so we're going to add the buttons ourselves, but we need to somehow get that text set into there without doing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I take that back. I am Oops. Okay, that's gonna, that I still need that. That actually has to be in that rendering thing, but I'm going to add that into the button define macro. So, because this is just going to be a lot of unnecessary code when the shit can already be done here. All right, so let's do this. All right, text pointer back, and we're going to just add this to the end. Okay, but we are going to do this. Ooh, I'm gonna have to make a couple of changes to that there. So, all right, so actually I need to do this base without this because I'm going to do two of these macros. And here we go, comma, 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 comma. And this way, I don't have to make any changes to any of the current button definitions because not all of them are going to have this. So, and actually I need to do this. All right. Clean that up a little bit. I don't need that type of indentation there. There's nothing there. All right, so we've got our macros defined. That's gonna get us a lot. So now let's do special one for menu button. No images. Callback. We want the text pointer, and we want the glyph block. All right, so that should allow us to define one for the macro. Actually, I need to do this. I deleted those for a reason. That is, we're going to get rid of that, kind of shrink it up a little bit, so to speak. There. Oops, I need to do two of them. Okay, so that should take care of that because I don't think we're going to have any menu buttons that have an image behind them because that would just draw on top of it. And those the gold text that you see there is actually part of the background. When I decompress the texture for the background and then I actually draw those on top of it. That's why I've got that table there, so it's not baked into the scene. I can change it dynamically and all kinds of good stuff. All the menus are like that. So having this here should be pretty fun. All right, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna get rid of these, and we're gonna change this to that. Okay, so now what we need to do is add the text pointers. So and actually let's do that up here as well. So, all right, where are the text is over here, news, and I'll add the MMU block in a minute, but that's going to be something that I will put on all of them. So no reason to keep doing that. Okay, credits, and then the chumps. All right, so that should do that, but we want memory map dot fonts nail blue dot block. This is completely ridiculously long, but I am at this point I'm okay with that. I mean, the code I was about to write was stupid as hell. And we can get rid of this. And actually, let's go back up here. I don't even need to retype it. I can here. Let's see. Let's. All right. I can fix it like that. All right, everything's back to normal. That's the power of Git. I can selectively get rid of shit that I don't like. All right, so we've got all that in there. Okay, so it's adding text in there. Now we've got to go back and update our button. Where's our button? Button image object, so that this initialization happens. All right, text pointer, comma x, and then it's text pointer, comma y. So, and we want load A. Pretty sure it's named left table and then store A. Okay, so that should take care of our text. Now, when we start this up, if everything is working the way that it should be, this should actually be rendering now without any additional stuff. So that's, some of this stuff is actually becoming a bit easier, certainly, than I thought it would be. But that's just because I realized that writing the code I was about to write to kind of merge all of this stuff, or to do it after as a two-phase kind of initialization was just incredibly stupid. I hate two-phase initialization anyway, so that's not really a leap for me to abandon that as quickly as I did. And we've got a screen full of ass. So what did I do wrong? Hmm. Well, let's do this. Maybe I've got those reversed. Now text pointer glyph block. Yeah. Hmm. Well, ain't that something? Well, let's do this. Oh, that's not going to work either. All right. Let's take a look at the button object. Oh, there we go, right there. That'll do it. Dugger. Such a dumbass. That's what you get for copy and paste. I make more mistakes that way but I just, don't really actually have to pay attention as much as I did back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, you had certainly had some flexibility with, how much you paid attention to it, but there was certain things that, you looked at before you even ran your code because, rebuilding it was going to take a while. All right, so we've got everything as blue, which is like it should be. Looks pretty good to me. So now we need to find a way to turn it off, um, because with that it's always on. So what do we do for that? Well, first of all, I'm going to commit this stuff, because this is nice. It's running a little slow, but that's to be expected with as much as stuff I've got going on. I mean, those are 16 by 16 sprites, um, or images really. So my keyboard is acting funky again. It's been doing that a lot lately. All right, okay, so we got our text in there. We want to that should be fine where we've got it, at least for now, and then our title is updated. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, button extension. So now we need to have a way to turn that shit off, and we're gonna do that really, really easily. Okay, we've got our button image and our. So what do we want to do here? Let's do this. High text of 0. And we'll go back over here to our button. And let's see, we're doing the this here, and we're going to leave that as part of the comma y. All right, high text of 0, so we're going to start it off as 0. So now we want to test it. All right. That we need to do in the renderer. Yeah, we don't really care about the performance on this at this stage, at least not yet. Probably won't test. And it should be equal to fin. Otherwise, I will get rid of that push and pull. Of course, I'm doing it in direct call anyway. It's not the most efficient way to do it, but you also have the option of optimizing down to the layer and then actually optimizing down to the scene. So that helps. So anytime I need performance, if I'm hitting that, if I actually hit that brick wall, then I know where to get that extra stuff at. All right, and it should not render this time. Perfect. So, I think I'm gonna just commit that real quick. And now, gotta hook into the input stuff. Now, one of the things that I did change with the uh, update of the UI state is I kind of moved the reading of the joystick into the UI scene state, whereas before I think it was or before it does the update now rather than after, because that it allows the joystick values to be read before the update and used on that update, which is kind of important here. So now I've got to make a let's see, I need to look at the UI, get rid of the layers, UI state. All right, so this update function, where is it? Yeah, right here. So I've got to kind of get hooked into this somehow, um, so that the I get invoked before, um, in between this reading of the joystick and the on update. So, and I think I am going to make this part of UI scene state. Originally, I thought of doing it in title, but this actually works across the board if I want to support it. Um, so let's do this. No, actually, I need to do this on. No, I can do this at the scene state. Oh, perfect. Okay. So what do I want to do here? Uh-oh. Let's see. So really, all I need to do is check the joystick values, and then do an update on the image object. And there's nothing else going on there. So let's just let's stick that in a function. Um, let's update button hover state. Well, that's gonna be another long one. Oh, do 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 do. Actually, I should move that in before the update because we're just updating that position. So Technically, this whole update cursor position shit shouldn't even be here. I should probably move that into the cursor itself, make a cursor object and do it right. But that's that's actually that is on my list. I was gonna say maybe that's something I should add to my list, but it's already there. So let's do that. Read the high res joystick, and we'll do this. Do that and do that. All right. So what? I could probably get by with a quick trick right now. Load Y. I need to find the button at that position. So I need the my is it UI my UI object layer. How did I name that? My UI image layer. Duh. I should actually change that to my UI button layer. Really. Yep. Because that is what it is used for. Or maybe control layer. Because there are some things that I want to do that will make it work with a wide variety of things. But that's a later on thing. So okay, so we got our address of the image layer, and so let's take a look at that layer again. Okay, that's layer object layers, UI button layer, find buttonette. All right, so X and U. So I want to do that. So let's see, we need the address of the joysticks. So let's take a look. I forget what those values are, but the UI scene state actually has that. And the update cursor right here. Xval. Oh yeah, I need to change those. All right, so in LU, what was oops, that layer went away. Oh wait, over here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. X and X and Y and U. Okay. Y val. Pretty sure that's right. And branch carry clear to fin. Let's see, find buttonette returns it in X. All right, so we want to set that in. Button image object, that's hide text of 0. And that should be it. What? Oh, why bow? Fucking can't even spell an abbreviation, man. How much do I suck? All right. So on this, when I move my mouse over it, it should change to blue, but it won't change back because it's always setting that. But I may have a way to do that pretty quick. Okay, let's do from top down. It did not. Hmm. Okay, well, the button click still works, so that's all there. So the buttons are there. What did I do wrong? Oh, maybe Am I using this anywhere else? I bet you I know what it is. No, well, no, actually, that'll do it. Oh, those are not constants. They are addresses that have they're pieces of memory with shit in them. That's more muscle memory. You get to talking and get a couple of wires crossed, and oh, my music stopped and I didn't even notice it. And there's oh, okay, that was odd. So let's put the mouse cursor at the top and try that again. I want to see what when they come into play. Huh. Well, that seems a bit off. Okay, there's no offset there. So that means I think I got to do that. Or maybe it's the other way around. Is cancel that right at the end of it. Let me go. While that's doing that, I'm gonna get my music going. So what do we got? Let's see what's up next. Mambo number 5. I think I might turn this one up a little bit. Normally I keep it down at a low volume so it doesn't get in the way of me talking about shit. So all right, so we are done that. And we've got success. So how do we turn those off? Well, first thing I'm gonna do is save that, stash that. Actually, let me take a look at that real quick because that seemed pretty easy. I got that fix me there, and then I got, yep, okay, so we're gonna save that off. We're good to go there. Now, next, what are we gonna do? Let's go ahead and try to change that. So we're setting this on every frame update. So let's be cheap and easy about it. And let's go in here to the object renderer and do this. And just clear it out. And I'm betting that that works. Nothing fancy. Till I need it to be. All right. All right. Ha! That's pretty cool, don't you think? I think that's cool as shit. I really do. So after all that, I got I got shit clicking. I can click on that and I can go exit. Comes back. I can do this and this. Wow. Actually, I'm gonna reset. I want to see what the default value is on this. See where it starts by load up. Oh, okay, I get it. Whatever the mouse cursor was there. Okay, so let's Yeah, I do like that. I'll have to add in the load saga is just a kind of a placeholder maybe. But yeah, see, that's pretty cool. Not really sure I like the colors. I might swap them around. Um, do maybe a gray. In fact, I could probably do that now just to kind of test it out, but then that would change stuff. Um, so let's see, high scores. Yep, got the high scores there. Options, still go to that. Hey, it doesn't crash. Credits and the chumps. So we got all that stuff working for us, and it looks pretty. So we can go into, I think I might add the stuff in here just as a just to kind of finish it off and say, hey, yeah, it's done. Or well, not really done. It's still got a long way to go of, but a lot of the UI is getting pretty solid. I mean, there's not much left to really do on it except for some tweaks. So let me go ahead and save that off, and I'm going to add. Let's see, that was one render. Okay, we got that. And all right, so the button render, actually, we want to keep that around because we're going to add some more text to that. Don't need the button layer, don't need the scene driver. We're done with the button image, but we do want to have title around because that's going to give us kind of an idea what to start with. Okay, so we got 5 items there. In this one, we only have 4, so that should actually be pretty easy. All right, let's see. Let's see, get rid of chaos, get rid of layers, leave layer object open. Okay, so not armory, but active game menu. Oh, that's got draw. Oh, that's right. This has some custom shit going on. All right, yeah, this could be a little tricky. We got some time. We got what almost we got what 2 hours 14 minutes till the end of Septandy. Fuck it, let's go on. See how long I can see how long I can drag this stream on, man. This has got to be some boring shit for people. I mean, all right, so let me back in the day sorry, I'm just seeing your question. When was that posted? How did I miss that? I don't have a time. I don't think I have a timestamp on this. Um, but back in the day, a lot of this was done with uh, a lot more effort. In some cases, it really depends. I mean, because there's so many different aspects of this. But for something like this, yeah, for a lot of the homebrew stuff, it would have been done on a Coco. Um, but by around I don't know 89, 90, um, I actually got a hold of a cross assembler. It was actually, I think it might have been the Motorola, and I don't actually remember what it was for that had been compiled for MS-DOS. But my dad wouldn't let me use his PC. I couldn't go over and like do some development or whatever. So it was I didn't really, and I didn't have a PC of my own. So, but yeah, I mean, there were some uh, uh, programs that were written that way. I know that uh, Edtasm Plus that was written by Microsoft. And I'm almost positive that they use either their in-house assembler or they started with maybe the Motorola one because the Motorola assembler came out in like 79 or 80. Um, and it was written in C, so you could compile it for a lot of different platforms with some minor modifications, at least back then. But yeah, but there are aspects of this that I mean, I know I had programs for doing some of this stuff, like some of the choreography that I'm doing. Studio 29 was created specifically for doing stuff like that. For managing the sprites and stuff would have been Image Master and Color Max Deluxe, which would have actually taken a bit longer, and they certainly wouldn't have been nearly as good because I suck as an artist. I mean, I can put stuff together, convert it, and do some touch up, but as an artist, I suck. Um, uh, and the program would not be built. all in one shot like I'm doing right now. It would have been split up into multiple parts. Um, and I would have had to have been very careful about which what actually got rebuilt when it needed to be. So there was a lot of things that you know absolutely would have been a bit more difficult to certainly manage, and really anything this size um, going to be difficult to manage, and so it would uh, be compounded by the fact that I would have been using notebooks in order to keep track of a lot of stuff. In fact, I mean I've got where is it? Uh, there it is. I've got one for chaos. Um, I keep, yeah, see, it says chaos on it. I've always kept notebooks. I've always, written in it. And, being left-handed makes it easy because I got my mouse. I can still do stuff here, and then I can write with my left hand. So it makes it a ton easier. So now I'm going to get into another boring spot. I'm going to do this. All right, so we got this. We're just going to go ahead and, actually, we're just going to copy this first one over because that's all we need. All right, and pretty much the same way we did stuff before. I'm gonna do let's see, x comma y um, width and height is the same. So and then state and then text. All right, so now we don't get caught up with putting so because none of those symbols exist. So if I compile it or if I try building it with that, it ain't doing shit. Okay, so we've got go to the armory, exit scene state. Hmm, that's actually should be callback, but and then go to next state, and then go to next state again. Oh, that's for continue and ooh. Yeah, I forgot I was doing that. All right, so we only have 3 at the moment because save is not in there. Okay, so we have the go to the armory. In fact, let me take a look at that real quick. Okay, so we have save game, which is let's see, 3. Okay, so we're gonna start the IDs at 1, even though we're not really using them at the moment. So let's see, we got Visit Armory, Begin Saga, which is next, and that's C or B for the keyboard, and then quit. So Begin Saga is gonna be the go to next. So actually let's change this and this. Okay, now they're at least ordered. So let's do like we did last time and split this down. And okay, Visit Armory is ching, and then quit, which is going to be the exit state. And then actually, I'm going to see now that I've got these button callbacks in there. I can actually the next step is going to be um, to pop up the uh, little dialog boxes. So, and then we've got the start meeting now. I might actually be changing some of this tonight because the way that this goes, because right now I'm doing a custom draw on the text for either begin or saga or continue saga. I want to have that kind of mix in there. But now with this, I can update my I can add a custom init function, which just sets it in here in the profile when I go into the state because that's where I know it. So I'm actually I think I'm gonna be able to get rid of some code here. So we are going to definitely going to keep the text in there. Um, and so let me go ahead and Let's see. Okay, so we need to move. We need to take some of this over here to. Let's see. And our renderer, we need to add in some text here. Let's see, and continue and begin. Okay, so this is oops. Make sure I rename that. And we'll just copy that. And we've got text. So we need labels for this. Do text. Yeah, this is, let's see, continue saga text. All right. All right, text. This is gonna. All right, so this first one is the visit armory. And begin saga is what we start out with. And we'll leave continue saga out, and then we'll just do the quit. And that should do it for that. Now we need to add the width in there for each of these. Oops. So let's, okay, we're here. Let's see, we've got, oh, that is, well, that's a big one. That's 12 characters. Wow. So that is 192. So that's for visit armory. Damn, that's pretty big. All right, and then it's begin saga. That's 10, so that's 160. And then quit text is 4, so that's 64. Well, that was easy. All right, so let's get rid of this. See if it builds. Oh, I guess that I could go in and get rid of these because those actually aren't even needed. I don't think so. Yeah, that's from that failed look. All right, so we've got so now when we go into that menu, those should highlight. Oh, and it's I gotta do this. I'm gonna have to build it all over again. That's all right. So back to how it was done back in the day. I do know there were a couple of games that were done um, where I think the majority of the development was done on a PC, and that was I think one of those was Super Pitfall, um, uh, Rampage, or Z89, or maybe more than one of them. I don't know. So, but I think that those were some of them. I know that Digger 2 was because I did Digger 2, um, and let's see, the Saint. Wow, those are not working at all because I didn't add it into here. So, but yeah, in fact, Digger 2 was where I started with uh, modifying the Motorola assembler. I added structures and unions and local labels and a bunch of other shit that didn't need to be in there. The only ones that are available for download are in the Facebook group. So if you go into the files list In fact, let me see. Here it is. Um, yeah, there's you'll see it has a list of like recent files. If you go into see all, you'll see a Kumiko disk. Now there's two of them that are on there. One is from 9.1, the first of Septandy. Now that one only works on an emulator. For some reason, it does not load on a real machine. I've tested it with the Gimme X, with a regular Gimme, and all that. So that doesn't work with emulator, and that's actually not a problem with like games requirements or anything like that. There's actually a bug in there. But the one that's on that was uploaded on 8.15, um, that it's a 40 track disc, but it will work on a real Coco. And that is so somewhere in between there. I introduced a bug, and I haven't bothered to go out and look for it yet. So let me get that loaded up there. The dog wants the scent. All right. All right, so we've got yeah, we've got the highlights in there. Don't see visit armory. Yeah, visit. So and then I can exit out. I may just have the save game in there and all that. So I need now I'm gonna have to do the I have to deal with the begin saga. So let's see what we've got here. In fact, let me stash this off because this code right in here is gonna get changed big time. This draw static elements we don't actually need anymore. Um, this just goes in and does a lot of custom stuff, which we don't really need to do anymore, um, because the buttons are already drawn to the background. Those are already pasted. Um, or no, this actually this text list down here is. Um, so I'll be taking care of that. I may end up doing that tonight too. So actually that changes a little bit. So that code actually kind of has to stay around for a little bit longer. Um, what is it that I need to do here? Well, I do still need to update the button list, so that'll carry over later. So when I implement the other code, this will actually go away, which I may actually end up doing tonight. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, the render, we just added some text, and then we added that. That's easy. Updated active game, I need to use click navigation. Perfect. All right, so what do we have here? Let me hmm. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this off right now with the save game, actually. Save game, 56. That's what, 4, 5, that's 9. So it's like 112. Where is it? 112. And we want that to go to save game. Oops. That one. And then save game text. We want to switch over to here. Oh, it's already there. Awesome, cool. All right, so we've got the coordinates in, the size, save game callback. We've got the save game text, and that's of course in the blue block. And I think we'll go over here and do that to load game as well. fact, yeah, that'll actually polish that off, and then I can do some more magic. All right, so that is all right. So we'll go to new saga, start, and nothing happens when I click on it. Visit armory. Oops. Quit. Why is quit not working? Why does quit not have begin saga? Why does quit? Hmm. That is curious. Oh, duh, because I added another one in there. So it wouldn't, that's why it was looking for it not working out. Okay, perfect. So let's do the same, let's screw up this the same way. All right, so this is load game. In fact, that's going to be the same coordinates as this. Oh, no, it's not. Duh. New saga save game. Or load saga. There we go. But the size is the same. 112. Of course, I'll go in and check the. Okay. Load game text, and we want to go to load game. Wait a minute. That's right. And we get rid of that. And add 6. Load game is the same thing here. Oops. Load game text. Oh, is that not? Oh, load saga. Well, I got to go through and make sure these are consistent later on. All right, this should get all of them, and I won't do anything. That'll. All right, let's see what we've got here. Load Kumiko. All right, load saga, new saga load, high scores. Oops. Load saga does nothing. All right, so just need to change that to 1. And there we go. So we're gonna stash that off. We got the load saga in there. And save saga. Okay. And we are done with that. So what else can I do? All right, so we can do the continue saga selection. All right, so in order for that to happen, we need our own init scene. And we're just going to go to that right now. And we go to change this. Awesome. All right. Obligatory save. Actually, I want to do it that way. is here. This renders that. Oh, where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. In fact, I can probably just active game menu. Okay, so that renders the header. All right. So what we need to do is modify this to print out the continue. All right, so what we want though is we want this continue text from over here. And the begin saga from here. All right, so we're gonna start with the continue saga. And actually, I'm gonna swap these around. Right, should be cool. All right, because this is, oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna swap that around. Set profile. All right, so this is gonna have different coordinates as well. So let's see, the begin saga was it 4622, and those are 16-bit values. So we need two of them, so we're going to do this. We'll put the X in the X register, the Y position in the D register, A position. Nope, it's the X position. Ooh. Oh, ain't that a bitch. Hmm. Okay. Here's what we are going to do. All right, so we got to get a little tricky here. All right, so let's do this. Oh, shit. All right, so we want the begin saga button profile. Let's make it as long as we can. No, we need to make one for continue. Now I could just create two tables, but then I gotta like maintain all that shit, and these things can change. Plus, I'm gonna use this kind of stuff. This is actually going into a bigger package, so might as well write the code now. Let's see. Okay, continue saga text. All right, so continue saga is at how many characters are in that? That's a lot. 13, wow. That is a lot. So that is 208. All right, so let's check this out. Okay, so 24, 120, 208 by 16, and it goes to the next state, and we do this. Wonder how many. Wonder what the codes difference in code sizes. Of course, I'm working in the data context now, so I've got plenty of space. Let's do this. We're just going to make two tables because that should be simple. All right, so this is begin. Actually, you know what? And there we go. We're going to do that. Save is already in there, so we're good there. And there we go. So we've got two tables. I'll look at it consolidating it later. I get into it. So we've got our knit scene. So I guess we can test it there. We're going to do this. And actually, you know what? We're going to get rid of this so that if no button list. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Test that. All right, so actually, I could do that with D. And I'm going to need to do this. Since we are using static instances. All right, that should do it. Oops. Continue saga text nut. Oh, Sage. Duh. At least I spelled it once, or right once. Da, 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 da. Hit me. I got an hour and 45 minutes. I don't think I can make this that long. All right, so let's see. We got new saga. Saint. Let's do fancy. Well, at least I know that it prints the other one. Oh, yep, does that. Cool. Okay, that's what you'd expect. I just have them reversed. And that starts the game. I'm just gonna let myself die. All right, so we've got that. Branch if equal. Yep, that's right. Actually, this is the way that it should be. We want to continue first because that's going to be the most common one, and we're always setting it when we init the scene. So we are good. Although Mm, I should really do that that's something I should do it on scene enter or UI scene on enter. So that's going to hang around for a little bit. So we've got that. So what do we do here? Oh well, we're doing it before the init scene stuff does, so that's good enough. I'm not going to change it. So we got our step profile, we got all that stuff. Okay, we're good to go. Now, all right, so we got render, let's just fix to that, and then we've got the two tables in that new code. So awesome. Now I guess, oh yeah, there's the game over scene. So, all right, let's see. So we've got high scores, we've got options. Hmm. Credit set's a bit more than it's worth. But I need to do something with options. I really do. Let's take a look at the colors here. So, let's do a quick experiment. Let me, matter of fact, let me do some artwork real quick. I am going to, all right, fonts, source, gun nail. We're going to do a quick look, and I'm not going to show you while I'm doing this. I'll talk a little bit, but let's see. Select the color. So I'm gonna change the colors here, and I'm gonna make them pretty. And let's actually let me select my right palette. And where is that? Tool options. That's good. And we'll do that. So, all right. So I've got changed the color of the default text and then the highlighted text. So let's see, that one seems gold. Now this will actually affect the headers and stuff too, but those I wouldn't worry too much about. That just requires some changes. And blue. All right. Yep. Good nail gold, good nail blue. Awesome. Yes, I'm looking at difficulty settings. Uh, um, the way that I author this stuff, it's actually pretty easy to add stuff in there that is skipped based on difficulty. So you could have, multiple items in there. I could have an item that is only in there for like skill level 1, and then but on skill level 2, it actually uses different um, either a different path or maybe a different firing rate. There's all kinds of different combinations that I can do with that. So yeah, with the scripting and pathing that I've got, oops, wow, oh, uh, and the control that I've got over it, I can actually do quite a bit with it. All right, so we've got basic gray text and then it goes gold. So yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. I like that. That really does look a lot better. All right, so yeah, see it does the header. So babysitting. Now people just have to remember to take their Geritol, man. All right, we've got that. So we awesome. Well, we can make that easy. Hmm. All right, so well, that's it. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's 10:30 here, and I think I've been doing this for a little over 2 hours. Let me check. Yeah, how long have I been doing this? So yeah, it's looking like oh, it's almost on the 2 hour mark. I guess I didn't get a I guess I got a late start on it. So almost 2 hours. That's average. So yeah, I got I think quite a bit done. All things considering, a couple hours, and I've got clickable navigation. I've got highlights and all that. I mean those little things. They don't really take a whole lot of effort or a whole lot of concentration, but they're really nice to have in there. Although in this case, I'm actually using a full 8K block for the extra font, but I'll work that out. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna bail here. Maybe go to bed. Maybe watch some South Park or something. Relax. So anyway, I think I'm out of here. Y'all have a great weekend. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any videos until maybe late next week. But I've got some stuff going on. But anyway, have a great weekend and keep cocoaing, man.